Technology has driven our world to a drastic state of vulnerability. With the proliferation of government and corporate surveillance, personal information is targeted and tracked with unimaginable reach. But in this age of rapidly eroding privacy, there are some who have dedicated themselves to the effacement of the digital self. They are the self-appointed guardians of internet morality, executing aggressive campaigns for social justice by the power of the crowd. They are a screaming cry for reform to the complacent, and a flaming light of revelation to the covert. While they demand transparency of government and corporate institutions, they themselves remain hidden in the shadows of the cyber world. Utilizing the digital screen as a mask, they possess an unbridled authority and instant escape from jeopardy. They possess anonymity.
We are anonymous. We are legion.
Anonymous has no who. It exists not as a group, but a movement, aspiring to the most honest definition of a leaderless organization. Renouncing all individual recognition, Anonymous promotes the anti-celebrity with strict devotion only to its ideology. Allowing anyone to call its name, Anonymous is dynamic in its portrayal. This is their strength, and this is their fault. The actions of Anonymous fall between the cracks of cyber warfare and political advocacy, manifesting as unstoppable cyber infiltrations with intent to dissuade and cripple targeted organizations. Anonymous thrives in the era of hacktivism. Riding the line between rational and reckless, legal and illegal, these acts of cyber vandalism often expose where authority falls short and fails to act. Anonymous is reactive and adaptable, riding the wings of current events with vigilance and poised strike. Anonymous is more powerful and relevant than ever. For this force, the voice of none is stronger than the voice of one.
We are the last group to report, and our topic is digital self. My name is Rayami Etrata.
I'm Julian Toquer.
I'm Herschel Laurente.
I'm Arman James Thierry.
I'm Kimberly Battad.
Digital self refers to a person's online persona and identity, which may differ from the real-world identity. An individual's online identity is shaped by how they present themselves across various websites and interactions. People nowadays are becoming more and more connected to each other through the advent of technological advancement. People living miles away from loved ones can be challenging, but knowing that a single call bridge the distance brings comfort and solace. Despite the physical separation, the connection remains strong, and the warmth of a familiar voice can instantly make the distance feel insignificant. In a world where technology enables us to stay connected effortlessly, being just a call away reminds me that love knows no bounds, and that distance is merely a temporary obstacle in the journey of staying close to those who matter most. However, technological advancement has also resulted to many challenges which affects the formation of the self. First, evolution of courtship. One of the many realities affected by the shift to a digitalized world is the idea of love and courtship. The shift to a digitalized world has revolutionized the idea of love and courtship, sparking a wave of excitement and endlessly possibilities. In this digital era, love knows no boundaries, and the courtship transcends physical limitation. Technology has transformed the way we connect, communicate, and express affection. making it easier than ever to find and nurture meaningful relationship. Embracing this digital evolution with enthusiasm, I believe that love in the digital age is vibrant, dynamic, and full of endless opportunities for connection and growth. Only a number of men would choose the traditional way of courtship. Romance in the virtual world has become predominant. The world today also witness individuals who even in the absence of actual personal encounter becomes lover. Actually, I must prefer yung old style na courtship. Hinaharana ka, nagsusulat ng love letter, dinadalaw sa bahay. Nowadays kasi karamihan na sa mga kabataan, sa text or sa social media na dinadaan ang panliligaw. Wala namang mali doon. Just make it sure that you are true to yourself and sa gusto mong i-pursue. The problem arises where one of them is different in reality than the person he presents himself to be in the virtual world. In the virtual interaction, the challenges arises when individual present a persona that diverges from their true selves in reality. This discrepancy between the virtual and real-world identities can lead to misunderstanding, trust issues, and ultimately a sense of betrayal. It underscores the importance of authenticity and transparency in online relationship, highlighting the needs for honest communication to foster genuine connection, build on trust, and mutual understanding. Kapag ibang-iba ang pagkatao mo yung pinakilala mo sa virtual interaction in reality. Reality perceived in the digital world. Number 1, real-life reality. This is the interaction that happens on a face-to-face basis. One interacts without the aid of technological instrument. In the context of real-life reality within the digital world, the convergence of physical experience and virtual interaction presence. Ito yung face-to-face na nakikita mo siya in person. Number 2, simulation. It is the endeavors to imitate reality in the closest way possible. Simulation in the digital world is like navigating through a mirror maze, where reality and imagination intertwine seamlessly. It is a captivating journey where boundaries blur and possibilities are endless. One example of simulation in the digital world is virtual reality technology. In our next slide, I'll discuss what is virtual reality. Number 3, augmented reality. Augmented reality, this happens when computer-generated system enhance one's experience with the real world like what a person can experience when he plays the Pokemon Go. Augmented reality is another fascinating aspect of the digital world. Unlike virtual reality, which immerses users in completely digital environment. Augmented reality overlays digital context onto the real world. Like what I've said earlier, augmented reality can be used in gaming apps like Pokemon Go. Kahit saan pwede kang makahanap ng Pokemon gamit ang iyong cellphone. Kaya nyo itong i-detect kung may Pokemon ba sa location mo. Okay, next. Number 4, virtual reality. This reality allows a person to enter into a computer-generated world and assume the form of virtual character. This is present when one creates a character in an online game and the created character acts as directed by the person behind the computer. One example online game in virtual reality within the digital world is Minecraft. Minecraft, a highly popular sandbox game developed by Mojang Studios, offers a VR version that allows players to immerse themselves in a blocky and creative virtual world using virtual reality headsets. In Minecraft, players can explore vast procedurally generated worlds, gather resources, build structures, craft items, and interact with the environment in a fully immersed virtual reality experience. Possible effect of virtualization. Virtualization happens when one is completely assimilated with the virtual communities that exist outside the real world. Virtualization goes beyond the traditional information technology context of virtual machines and servers to encompass a more personal and social dimension. It implies a high level of involvement and connection with online communities, social network or virtual platform, to the point where one's identity, interactions, and relationships are predominantly shaped by digital experience. This deep assimilation with virtual communities can have both positive and negative effect on individuals. The difference between the four: real-life reality, simulation, augmented reality, virtual reality. The real-life reality is the physical world we inhabit. It refers to the physical world and the experiences we have in our everyday lives. Augmented reality enhances our perception of reality by overlaying digital context onto the real world, and simulation creates models of real-world system or scenarios, and last, the virtual reality immerses users in entirely digital environments. Each concept offers a unique way to experience and interact with the world, with varying degrees of immersion and interactivity in the digital realm.
The cyber self. With the glorification of technological advancement, the self is classified also as a user and may be evaluated in light of his immersion to the digital world. Alongside with his use of technology is the creation of multiple personalities resulting to different sets of attributes and identities, adapting to the needs of environment of a particular digital environment. For example, one could be a simple villager in a world, while an assassin is another, and yet again a Pokemon hunter in another. So, a single person may have three different identities. The cyber self. Still others may have different identities in relation to their role in the society. Say, one has a Facebook account for his dealing as an online seller, and another account for being a teacher, and another account for being a student. A cyber self, plural cyber selves, an alternate self on the internet or in cyberspace, an online alter ego. For example, he or she may present a professional self on LinkedIn, a casual self on Twitter, or an artistic self on Pinterest. The dramaturgy of the self. Dramaturgy is a sociological perspective that analyzes micro-sociological accounts of everyday social interaction through the analogy of performativity and theatrical dramaturgy, dividing such interactions between actors, audience, member, and various front and backstage. The term was first adopted into sociology from the theater by Irving Goffman. Irving Goffman categorizes social interaction into three critical performances: front stage, backstage, and offstage. Irving Goffman was a Canadian-born American sociologist, social psychologist, and writer considered by some the most influential American sociologist and sociologist of the 20th century. In 2007, the Times Higher Education Guide listed him as the sixth most cited author of books in the humanities and social sciences. Fan stage. It is where actors are viewing the performance of their role. It is where actors are evaluated by the audience in relation to how well they deliver their part in the play. This analogy is used to characterize a person's need to be who other people expect him to be, like a friendly merchant, or a knowledgeable teacher, or a good student. Backstage. It is where actors are taken out from the prying eyes of the audience and can just be himself without the trouble and having to please the audience by meeting their expectations. The analogy is used to characterize the person's times when he logs out from the digital world and become who he is. The difference between front and backstage. Front stage and backstage behavior is actually a sociological concept developed by Irving Goffman. He posits that front stage behavior is how we act when we're on stage and presenting to others, while backstage behavior is how we act when we think no one is watching. Offstage. It is where the performer comes in contact with the audience without being the actor in the play. It is where he assumes his original self. This analogy is used to characterize the most when people who assumes a role on the other line finally meets the person on the other line. Goffman uses the term offstage or outside to mean situation where the actor is, or assume their actions are unobserved. A moment alone would consider outside.
There are 5 elements of the dramaturgical of the self. Number 1. Number 1 is performance. It refers to the set of activities in which the self participates in front of others, or an act of staging or presenting a play, concert, or other form of entertainment. Number 2. Setting. It refers to the scenery where an encounter or interaction will take place. Number 3. Appearance. It functions rests on its ability to present the self in various statuses. Number 4. Manner. This pertains on how an actor sends various signals to the audience to ultimately inform them in advance of the role he/she seeks or is about to perform. Number 5. Front. This is a kind of a social script that actors follow for a more guided performance.
So, we're here now to learn about the identity crisis, anonymity, and pseudonymity in the cyberspace. So, ano kayong mga pumapasok sa ating isipan kung ano ba talaga ito? Nasa bahay ba ito? May bagay ba? Nasa ibang lugar? Or nasa internet? Ganun. So, ngayon tatalakayin natin kung ano ba ito. Kung ano ba itong anonymity and pseudonymity. So here now, a result of popularity of a digital world in the tendency of people to conclude who a person is based on the limited data they gathered in the account of a person. A person is judged on the ground of the upload pictures and posts he has in his social network accounts. So, ano ba talaga itong dalawang ito? So, before that, what is the difference between anonymity and pseudonymity? Anonymity means that an individual dealing with an app entity cannot be identified and the entity does not collect personal information or identifiers. A pseudonym is a name term or descriptor that is different to an individual actual name. So that's the difference of between the two. So the next is, so here now to learn about the anonymity. Anonymity is defined as the act of communicating wherein the sender does not openly reveal his or her identity. Factor why people choose particularly conceal their true identity differs, such as privacy, security, etc. So based on the picture, hindi nila nire-reveal kung ano sila, kung lalaki ba sila o babae. So so they particularly conceal yung tawag nun, tinatago nila yung mga totoong identity nila. So nandun tinatawag na privacy and security, etc. So anonymity is nobody know who you are and potential seeing what you do. Anonymity is keeping your actions and activities separate from your true identity. Anonymity comes to your identity. Anonymity is when at a set all the possible people there is equal change is could be anyone. You may desire this content but now making it depends. So anonymity means non-attribution to your action, to be nameless, to be faceless. One example is you can enter internet through anonymizing surveys like Tool and post message about women rights under anonymous username. Maybe in a country when it is a crime. Your identity remains anonymous and separate from your true identity. But your message is received are private. This is anonymity. If you connect to a website via private network, you are potentially anonymous to the website. So finally, there is variant of anonymity people sometimes use, that is, so yun na yung pumasok ng pseudonymity. Anonymity coming from the word pseudonym, which means false name. Pseudonymity refers to the act of presenting oneself under the guise of a self that is rather to stylize or refashion one. In history, writers hide behind pseudonyms to avoid revelations of identity for secure purposes. In today's context, it is the use of usernames. So pseudonymity is when you wish to retain a reputation against an identity. A common example is having at least false social media and false online. For example, Mary Ann Vance, whose use pseudonym George Eliot. So different types of pseudonyms: stage name, pen names, nicknames, usernames, and alias. This pseudonymity is important. So pseudonymity is important is because you can create You can create and use a fictional persona and represent yourself, allowing you to interact with others without revealing your true identity. So, that's all. Thank you.
Disinhibited self. It refers to how individual might behave more freely or impulsive online compared to their offline behavior or face-to-face interactions. Examples of online behaviors are cyberbullying, trolling, oversharing of personal information, catfishing. There are two primary forms, the benign disinhibition and toxic disinhibition. Benign disinhibition, it focuses on personal development, self-understanding, and the exploration of new emotional domains or experience in the virtual world. Ato giji positive behaviors nga bubrain tayo online, ken dito iket mas comfortable tayo nga agi-share ti personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences online. Example ket advocacy, awareness, social interactions, ken personal blogs. Toxic disinhibition. Contrary to benign, it is the negative behaviors where individuals engage in rude, aggressive, or inappropriate actions that they would not typically exhibit to face-to-face interactions. Examples get online harassment, death threats, blackmails. The digital world has allowed and even welcomed a more liberal presentation of the self. Unlike in a face-to-face encounter, individuals have lesser worries in relation to restrictions and behavior. This is what is referred to as the online disinhibition effect or the removal of social inhibitions and restrictions imposed upon people's behavior when engaging in the web. Causes of online disinhibition. Dissociative anonymity. This is when people feel confident doing or saying things online because their true identity is hidden. Example ket TJ and GL. Mabalin tayo ag-send ti messages anonymously kasi confident tayo nga ag-send ti messages ken AJ nga person kasi handamit amo no sino ti sender na AJ. Invisibility. This occurs when people can hide or alter their true appearance online. They feel more comfortable interacting because others don't know what they actually look like. Ate agijay agusto sarti fake nga profile pictures, iji handang epan iji ususto nga itsura da. Obubrain da etoy tapno i-hide ijay identity da tapno mas confident na nga maki-interact online. Asynchronicity. This is when online communication allows people to take their time before responding. Atik AJ, igim mo DJ sarili nga time mo. Example, ket no, adati nag-email kanyam. Ada pa lang ti time mo nga pagpampanunutan no, anya ti i-reply mo ken DJ nga email sakbay mo nga i-send AJ response mo. Solipsistic introjection. This happens when people read and interpret messages in their own mind. They imagine the tone, emotion, and the way the message should sound, which can be different from what the sender intended. Example, ket iji no sabali ti pa nag-interpret mo ken iji message nga inbagada kanyam. For example, ket no nag-chat ka medyo mo kanyam ti okay lang si ka nga receiver ke binasam iji in a rude tone pero iji sender ket haam nga rude kanya na iji pa nang ipagana iji. Dissociative imagination. This is the idea that online interactions can feel like a game where the user's rules don't apply. People can behave differently online because they see their online persona as separate from their real-life identity. Example ket kasla isu na adjenti video game sabali ti behavior mo as a person ken sabali mi ti behavior mo inside the game kasi ako man no in person kay mahiyain ka pero no adji ka inside the game ket napigsa ka ganun. Minimization of status and authority. This means that everyone online is seen as equal regardless of their real life status. Example, ket ti social status mo kumakit CEO ka tapos nag-order ka online di giant ket agpapada ti rankings yon awan tinangangaton awan tinabababa kasi DJ ke buyers kayo aminin.